Want to add spring charm to your home on a budget? I'll show you how to make a pretty decoupage busted out canvas and upcycle a collage picture frame. Let's get started. For the busted out canvas, you will need a 5x7 canvas and a 5x7 canvas board. You will also need some Mod Podge, some napkins, paint, scissors, X-Acto knife, brushes, and some water, and also a hot glue gun and glue sticks. There are so many pretty napkins, and I think the most difficult part will be to decide on which napkin you want to use for your project. Now, what you want to do first is you want to remove the back plies. You only need the first one. Some napkins have 2 plies and some have 3. So you just want to make sure that you remove them. And I also keep the back ply and I crunch it up, and I'm going to use it when I'm applying the napkin to the canvas board. I also like to scrunch up my napkin. I like texture, and also it hides any creases that you may have in your napkin. Before applying the Mod Podge to the canvas board, you want to play around with the napkin and figure out the placement. You want to keep in mind that the canvas has a wooden frame around it. Therefore, when you're gluing the canvas to the canvas board, you won't see maybe a quarter or half an inch of the canvas board because it'll be hidden by the wooden frame. Since the canvas board is tiny, I'm going to cut half of this napkin and save it. It's time to add some Mod Podge to the canvas board, and I'm just using a foam brush. And you want to apply a fairly thin coat. You want to make sure you cover everything, including the edges. And now I'm placing the napkin over the wet Mod Podge. And I'm going to use the scrunched up ply to smooth out the napkin. And I normally start from the center and go out. The next step is to apply the Mod Podge on top of the napkin, and then remove the excess napkin from around the edges, and we'll let that dry. It's time to paint the canvas, both the inside and the outside. And I've decided to go with a light blue violet and citron green. I think it goes well with the napkin. Before painting the inside of the canvas, I'm going to wet it with some water. Since the canvas itself is raw, the paint tends to drag. But you be careful, you don't want to add too much water. When painting the inside of the canvas, I always paint the wooden frame. I applied 2 coats of paint on the inside and the outside of the canvas. For the next step, you will need a glue gun, some hot glue, an X-Acto knife, and I'm going to put a cardboard underneath my canvas. That way I don't cut into the table. While I'm waiting for the hot glue gun to warm up, just want to show you another busted canvas that I did, and there's a full tutorial online on my YouTube channel, and it's a 3-part tutorial. So if you're interested, I will link the part 1 to the top of this video. And this is another larger busted canvas that I did. And if you're interested in this one, I will also put a link above. As you can see, there's a wooden frame. When we are cutting the canvas, we want to make sure we don't go up to the wood, because what could happen is when you're curling the canvas back, if you've cut to the wood, then you might expose some of that wood. So I'm going to stop just shy of the wooden frame. And I'm basically going to do an X. Now you could find the center point. You can use a ruler or just eyeball it. And when it's cut, and again, I'm going to stop about, I'm saying about 1/4 inch from the frame. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And now when I glue these two together, when I pull back, I will see the beautiful flowers underneath. Like our hot glue gun is ready. I'm going to apply the glue right on the canvas board. And you want to work fairly quickly. Okay, and now I'm going to place my frame right on top of the canvas board, and I'm going to press down. The frames and the canvas boards from the dollar store are not exactly the same size, even though they both say they're 5 inches by 7 inches. One seems to be larger than the other. Now I'm going to curl these back, apply a little bit of glue, and I'm going to use the end of my wooden brush to hold it down for a few seconds. That way I don't get any hot glue on my fingers. These make such cute projects. There's so many beautiful napkins available nowadays. And they make great projects to do with your children or grandchildren. I intend on doing this little project with some residents at a local long-term care residence. I'm sure it'll brighten up their little rooms. And here's the finished piece. I hope you like it. On to the next project. Hi, I'm Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel. For the next project, I'm going to update this outdated photo collage. I'm sure several of you have them in your house and you're probably not using them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the frame with my simple green. I'm going to remove the glass, the mat, and the backing. And then I'm going to paint the frame using Debbie's Design Diary clay paint. And the nice thing about this paint is I don't need to put any bonding agent on the frame. I could just start painting. So I'm going to use 3 colors, Flirtatious, Blood Moon, as well as Electrified. And then what I want to do is I want to replace these 3 photos or prints with this beautiful card that my daughter gave me. And it's not embroidered, but it's raised. I'm not sure what the name of this artwork is, but it's so pretty. So I'm thinking I'm going to put that in the center of the frame. And then I have quite a few watercolors that I've painted over the years. And I'm thinking I want to cut some of them and basically put my art in the frame. Now I just have to decide which ones. I've done so many. Let's see. Oh, I love my tulips, but I don't think it's going to go with my color scheme for this one. I'll have to save this for another project. And or perhaps a piece of this one. Maybe these 3. They all have purple, pink, and blue in them. So, but I will paint first. Oh, I'm so excited. This photo frame has been sitting around for a very long time, not being used. And I'm using this handy dandy staple remover that I found on Amazon. It's great to remove staples. So I'm just using this to raise these clips so I can remove the backing. Need to bend them a little bit more. This is such a great tool. Okay. So we have the backing. And then, I guess this is the print. Print. And then the mat. I do want to save the mat. And it has a double mat. So what I think I'm going to do is, I don't really care for the color of the inside mat. I'm going to leave the white as is, but the inside mat, I will paint it. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to clean the frame and then I'm going to start painting. I'm going to start with the Electrified, and I'm going to use this turquoise iris paintbrush. Don't recall the name. And I'm just going to wet it. My spray bottle from the turquoise iris called the Water Girl. Since this product is all natural, I'm not worried about getting any on my fingers, and it washes off fairly easy. I'm going to build layers on the frame with these 3 colors. See, the paint dries fairly quickly, and then you can reactivate it with water. Gonna give that a minute to dry, and then I'll flip it over and do the frame on the back side. When you're using this type of paint, you don't really need to worry about brush strokes or which direction you're going into when you're painting. Especially if you're looking for a textured look, you don't necessarily need to paint the back, but I think it's much easier. That way you don't need to worry about getting paint on one side and not the other. Now I'm going to go into the Blood Moon. No need to clean my brush. And you can either go right on top, like that. I don't want to cover all of the green. You can also use your mist bottle and just give it a light spray. You can blend a little bit more. Now I could go back in and add a little bit more green on this section, but I'm going to wait until I do the pink, and then I'll decide if I want to add more green. Going to add Flirtation. We'll see what this combination looks like. I think these colors will go well with the watercolors that I'm thinking of using. I hope you can see these colors. I'm still playing around with the lighting in this room. Trial and error. I'm going to set this aside, and now I'm going to paint the inside of the double matte. So I'll go with Bubblegum Pink. Sounds like a fun color. Well, this took me a while to do. This is my second coat now. Just going to put the last little bit. And this pink certainly has brightened up this matte. Okay. Here we go. It's nice. Nice and pink. Now I have to decide which of these I want to add. I'll probably have to play with it a bit. I like that one. I do love this magnolia. Isn't it a fun way to showcase your art? Or it could be the art of your grandchild or your child. So now I need to finish putting the Electrified green, let it dry, and then I'm going to seal it. And now I need to cut these two watercolors to fit the frames, and then I will put it all back together again. I let the frame dry overnight, and now I'm using Debbie's Design Diary clear wax, and this will make the paint pop. And I'm also using a Stahlmeister brush to apply the wax. You can see the big difference already from the area that's been waxed versus the area that does not have any wax. Once I finished applying the wax, I used a cloth and removed any excess wax. To buff the wax, I'm using my Paint Pixie Buff Brush. It's a fantastic brush made in Italy and sold by Paint Pixie, and it's great to have in your toolbox. So I changed my mind on the watercolors that I was going to use. I'm going to use this beautiful, well, I say it's beautiful because I painted it, but it's a beautiful painting. And it was a tutorial I took from a fellow Canadian, Anna Buciarelli, such a beautiful watercolorist. I will link her YouTube channel. So beautiful, such a beautiful painter. And this one is a tutorial I took from Karen Rice. I believe she's from England. And again, such a phenomenal watercolorist. And I will link Karen's channel below as well. So I'm going to go ahead now and complete this project. So I've decided I'm going to put my card in the center. And then I think I'm going to put the sweet peas on top, and then the magnolia on the bottom one. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so what I'm going to do, take this paper backing that was underneath this mat, and I'm going to apply the watercolors and the painting directly on this paper. And I'm going to adhere them with some wasabi tape, just to hold them in place. So these are, looks like 4 3/4. Yeah, 4 3/4. And okay. I'm hoping the thickness of the card doesn't affect anything, but I can always remove it if it does. And hopefully the tape does its trick. If you've done this before and you can recommend a better tape to use, let me know in the comments. Good. So this one here, I'm just going to cut the edge of my watercolor in case I want to place it in another frame later on. That way I'm not cutting too much of my painting. Position it like this. So I'm just going to cut this part. And since this watercolor is much bigger, okay, so I think I will cut it about here. This way, with this painting, I still have a little bit of the tree. I'll go with 5.5 inches. Yeah, 5.5. I need to cut the bottom, so I'll go with 5 inches again, 5.5 inches. Okay. Now I just need to clean the glass and put it back together. Okay, a moment of truth. Put the glass back in, and now I just want to make sure that this is the top. It is. Just going to flip it over quickly. I'm just going to lower the card because I don't want to see the happy birthday, because my birthday is not every day. So the nice thing about the wasabi tape is it did not mark my card at all. Just going to lower it just a tad. That should be good. If you enjoyed this video, check out this next video. Until next time.